Hello and welcome to Facebook Messaging Magic. Everyone's heard of Facebook Messenger, I realize that. But very few online marketers know how to maximize the raw potential of what without doubt is the most used and effective conversation platform online. And just maybe you're misjudging the sheer potential of this tool. So stick with me and you'll discover how Facebook has recently empowered Messenger to do so much more than just be a conversation chat platform. In fact, it has empowered it to be by far the most profitable free marketing tool on the planet. So in this presentation, I'm going to show you why you must be using this valuable tool in your online business. Okay? My name is Peter Beckett, I'm the Village Marketer, and I'm delighted and excited to talk to you about Facebook Messenger today. So why care about Facebook Messenger? Well, Facebook Messenger is by far the fastest growing mobile app ever created. It's owned by Facebook. It's been around for nearly 4 years now, I think. And in 2016 alone, there was 110 million downloads. 110 million, right? That's more downloads than YouTube, Facebook itself, Snapchat, even Pokemon Go, right? I mean, unbelievable, 110 million downloads. So at this point in time, there's 1.5, nearly 1.6 billion users on Facebook, but of those, 1.3 billion are users of Facebook Messenger, right? 1.3 billion. So why not build your business inside of 1.3 billion people's phones? People will literally carry your business around in their pocket everywhere they go. Maybe you're not aware of this, but 13% of the entire world's population use Facebook Messenger every month. More than 75% of the people with a mobile phone have Messenger downloaded to their phone. I mean, so why not build your business via Messenger? Because so many people have already got the application anyway, right? And think about this. Mark Zuckerberg said that 95% of all messages sent through Messenger are opened within 72 hours. 95%. I mean, that's 1,000% more effective than emails. I mean, and I'm an email marketer and I enjoy it. But wow, 95% open rate, you can't compare against that. And the only thing on the planet that has more users than Facebook Messenger is Facebook itself. I mean, just imagine sending private messages to, say, 100 people and getting 95 of them to open it. And that message is from your business. Think of the sheer power and potential of that. So the real secret of Facebook Messenger is there's no advertisements. Unlike your emails, there's no spam folders, there's no promo tabs, and there's no ads, there's no banners, there's no pop-ups, and people truly enjoy using it. That's why it's popular. And now let's look at Messenger gateways. Right? When we post on Facebook, the following 5 things can happen, right? You can get liked, you can get share, which is really great for free traffic, right? You can get your link clicked. I mean, most people try for this, but very few get it right. Most people continue scrolling, and that's the most common result, of course, right? And there's one more thing. You see, in order to get someone into Messenger conversation where you can literally chat and talk with them, you need a gateway. And recently, Facebook made one of these 5 things a gateway. Do you know what it is? The magic sauce, the missing ingredient, comments. Facebook has made comments the magic sauce as they are seen as the ultimate engagement. People verbally attaching to your post, right? That's what they're doing, and they're making a commitment to you. Liking and sharing is easy because you don't have to think about it. You just have to click. But commenting is a different thing altogether because it creates a connection between you and the person commenting. It's something that Facebook realizes that people, they don't like doing normally, right? They don't like putting themselves out there. So when they do, it's important. And that's what Facebook did, was to make comment a gateway into Messenger. In other words, Facebook now allows you to follow up those people who most likely will take action and enables you to send them a private message into their messaging inbox once they've made a comment on your post. I mean, this makes Messenger Conversation Platform an awesome marketing tool, right? Think about if every commentator could turn into a prospect for you, or even if only 25% of them did. What would that do for your business? This is a mindset you need to adopt when it comes to creating posts on Facebook. Now that you know that when people comment, you can deliver a message to their inbox, you could actually post something like this. Comment below and I'll give you 10% off. Or comment below and I'll send you a free PDF. Or comment below and I'll send you an invitation to my next webinar. I mean, if you did this, you can get your post going viral and it hasn't cost you a cent. And I have made a big mistake myself because I used to and I still do, I give away a lot of free content on my Facebook Lives and my Facebook posts. And what I say is, send me a personal message and I will send you whatever you're requesting, right? But in future, what I'm going to do is say, leave me a comment. Leave me a comment below and then I will send you a free PDF, for example, because I want to encourage the comments to build the post in terms of its engagement level. So really think about the sheer power of this for a moment. You encourage people to comment and then they expect a message from you, right? So you are literally engaging with your audience in a way that's never been possible before. I mean, it sure beats the pants off email messaging, doesn't it, right? People will expect the message coming from you, right? Because you've told them to leave a comment and you'll be getting back to them. This is truly an incredible way to start an engagement and start a conversation. Every other gateway into Messenger is relatively difficult, but with this one, using comments, it's really, really easy. The eyes are the windows to the wallet, as the key element here is that Facebook Messenger is not saturated. Your prospective customers are not being bombarded, unlike email, where the average adult, for example, receives maybe 300 emails a day. And that makes it almost impossible for you to stand out in their inbox, right? And another critical statistic is, I don't know whether you're aware of this, is that the average buyer, I mean, that's the one we all want, right? The average buyer gets 120 emails a day. And of that 120, they open on average about 17%, and they click on just 2, right? Compare that to the 95% figure I gave you before about Facebook Messenger. Can you start to see the reason why you should be thinking about Facebook Messenger more seriously, right? So now you've got powerful reasons for adopting Facebook Messenger, right? So let's go into a bit more depth. In Facebook Messaging, today we'll cover warm market strategy, newsfeed messaging tips, the finer points of direct messaging, simple tricks to get non-respondents to reply to you. Also, how to turn the tables on spammers, and the 3-step fast start formula. Okay, so let's start. Warm market strategy. What is a warm market? Well, these are people who already have some sort of regard for you. They know you, they like you, they trust you, and they might probably even respect you. I mean, forget about silo ads or Facebook ads. Cold traffic strategies like these are not suitable for newbies if you're struggling online. And they usually add unnecessary complications and expenses to your bottom line. The more complicated you make it, the slower your progress is going to be. And slow progress often results in a loss of motivation, a loss of interest. You become demoralized because you're not getting the results, right? And that's a terrible thing to happen to you. What you need is early, quick results. This is vital and powerful to your confidence level and to your motivation. And if you apply the communication skills that I'll show you in this presentation, within 30 days, you'll see results like more likes, more comments, shares, personal messages, and more potential leads. You'll get people who are approaching you or are interested to know more about you and whatever you did or whatever you posted about. And this will lead to more potential sales for you and more income or more members for your business or whatever your objective is. And you can start achieving those results within 30 days. Think of the positive effect this is going to have on your mindset, right? I mean, even if people don't even know you, but they feel like they know you, then they're more likely to do business with you. It's common sense, really. Even if they don't know you personally, just know you through, for example, Facebook. They know you online. Maybe they've seen some of your text-based comments or your Facebook Live videos, or even maybe a YouTube video you put up on Facebook or even on YouTube. They feel that they know you. That's what you want. They have warm feelings about you. Another thing about a warm market strategy is your objective is to build a tribe of followers and an audience of supporters around you. An audience of people that think you're pretty darn good. And if you had something for them that could help them solve a problem, they will be quite inclined to do business with you. That's for sure. And that's got to be a really good thing, right? That's the game we're playing. It's got to be a warm market all the way. A friend today on Facebook was probably a stranger yesterday. So if you have the right environment for them and we bring them into our environment, they're going to have a much more warmer feelings for you much faster. And an environment could be, for example, a Facebook group that you run, if it's warm and it's nurturing and trusting. So what you've done then is taken a cold person you didn't even know at all a few days ago that you found on Facebook, and now you've got a warm relationship building with them. Now you try and do that with a solo ad and see what happens. I mean, you go to a solo ad vendor, right? You pay them, say, 50 cents for a click. And if you buy, say, 200 clicks, you're going to pay them $100. They'll send a broadcast email to a segment of their list and they promote your offer. And they hope like mad that the people will click on the link to your offer. That link goes to a capture page and some of them opt in. Okay. Now let's say you got a 45% opt-in rate. Everyone's excited, right? And you probably regard that particular campaign as a real success. But is it really? Let's be frank with you. I'm not interested in the conversion rate of clicks to opt-ins. What's the point? I'm more interested in the conversion of opt-ins to sales. In other words, people who opt in, who become engaged, people who relate to me, because this is the only true measure, opt-ins to sales. And in reality, in most cases, traffic you get from solo ads will not convert. Most of them are cynical, suspicious traffic. I mean, it's a wrong environment. Most people who opt in like this are skeptical, they're jaded, they're cynical, cold suspects at best. I mean, they've been hit so many times with so many offers. And that's why your open rates are so low from solo ads. Make sense? Now compare this to our warm market strategy that I'm talking to you about, where you do things on social media platforms like Facebook. It's the right environment to start with. So you have a good foundation. Then if you have a funnel that nurtures these new relationships, like a supportive Facebook group, you can then intensify the positive environment and the ambience that you are wanting to create. All right? So here's some warm market strategy that I've used in the past. Social media, blogging, blog commentating, very effective, time consuming but effective. Guest blog posts, article marketing, that was quite a few years ago now. Video marketing, I'm still doing that with YouTube. Strategic advertising, I don't do that anymore. Leadership strategies. I mean, for example, Facebook ads are good if you're boosting a post that is content rich and not a sales pitch, as this can help build your warm market. If you get some success happening, then see if you can get yourself invited, for example, to be in a training session or on a webinar, and that the webinar gets recorded and loaded into the members' back office. That's a leadership strategy, and people will seek you out as now you're perceived to be an authority, right? But really, of all those warm market strategies, by far the most effective for me has been social media, especially Facebook. Great ambience and perfect for people who want to build warm audiences. Twitter is also good, but I would prefer to just contact on Twitter but transfer them to Facebook as quickly as possible. Now let's look at some newsfeed messaging tips. First of all, you need a balance between business and social content. You need to acknowledge all who make a comment. You should go to their wall and make a comment as well, and wish them happy birthday on their wall. Strike a balance between business-oriented content and social content in your Facebook posts, right? Social content like images, family and friends photos, funny content, inspirational things, and also valuable business-oriented content. Now I know some of you struggle with business-oriented content, but you can borrow content You really can borrow content and rewrite 80% of that and use someone else's. That's a simple way of creating valuable business content, right? Also, make sure you acknowledge everyone who makes a comment and reply to them. Go to their wall and make a comment as well. This will elevate your post, and this will also take a couple of hours a day, I know that. But find the 2 hours a day, as you must give this the utmost importance. It's a critical aspect of your warm market strategy. Sure, it's time consuming, but think of the benefits you're going to get from this. And I can tell you right now, if you spend 2 hours a day for the next 30 days, watch what happens in terms of the engagement levels on your wall and in terms of the people seeking you out. That's the objective we're after, right? Now, another thing you should do is post thoughtful, intelligent replies that will attract attention. Now, if you do enough of this kind of thing every day, then people will notice you. They really will. And you will attract people to you. And that's always preferable to the other option of chasing them and competing for their attention. And as you can see in these two examples there, I went out of my way to make sure I gave valuable comments to the people who had put the post on the board. Now, sometimes I spend a long time doing a comment. Sometimes I spend a short time. Okay, it's really a matter of what the topic is and whether it really grabs my attention. But I make sure at least once every day I give some valuable comments. I never just go, great post. Never just do that, right? Now let's look at more of the finer points of personal messaging. Sending a thank you PM, wishing them a happy birthday as a personal message, and asking lots of questions. I mean, really, personal messaging is one-on-one private communications using the chat box facility, right? So if you send a thank you to people who like, comment, or share your post, you are truly acknowledging them and you are standing out in their mind, right? Because they think, wow, this person's really darn good. And they will come and look for you as well. Now, apart from acknowledge them by replying to their comment and commenting on a post on their wall, you should take the extra step and thank them via that personal message facility. Do this when you're just getting started, okay? Because after maybe 30 days, you won't have time. You'll be having so many messages and so many comments coming, you won't have time to send personal messages for every comment made. But to do it to get started, and send a quick thank you personal message and wait for their response. Okay, always give them space to respond to your messages. Of course, wish them a happy birthday as a personal message. I mean, it's just another way to start a conversation. That's what it is, right? But of course, I mean, don't talk business on their special day. Send them one of Facebook's funny or celebrity graphics if they respond to your birthday wishes, right? And then a few days later, leave with a point in common after checking their wall. Okay, always follow up. Always follow up. The actual birthday wish was just the start of a potential conversation. Okay, you're not just being nice. Remember, we're on Facebook for business, right? So ask lots of questions, but of course not on their birthday. Another of the finer points about personal messaging, check out people's profile and seek common interests. I mean, the more common interests, the better the chance is to get a conversation happening with Messenger. One of my target audiences are struggling marketers. I mean, you may have a completely different market audience, but you'll still be looking for points in common, right? The principle of communication is the same, doesn't matter what your target audience is. Commenting on their wall, liking their posts, etc. Okay? And another thing is, look at friends in common to see if you should or could engage with someone in the first place. And perhaps the most important one of all, follow up everybody. Follow up all your prospects. Now, you may have to create a spreadsheet or at least have a notepad that tracks the conversations that you've had and also shows you who you need to follow up with and why. I mean, I can tell you, after maybe 3 or 4 days of doing this, you'll have so many people you've been having chats with, you need to have something written down, otherwise you won't know where you are. And remember, every person who comments on your post is a potential prospect for your business, right? And Facebook has given you the chance via Messenger. Doesn't matter whether that person's a friend or not, you can actually send them a direct message once they've commented on your post. That's the gateway to open up a conversation. Do you see the power of it now? So if a new friend seems like a potential prospect for you, then follow up with a question in a few days. And if you didn't inquire about their business previously, then you might as well bring it up, otherwise you'll never know. Sooner or later, you'll need to get to the point when you're talking about business issues, right? This can happen on the very first chat, but I would not suggest you do that, right? I would suggest you actually talk to them about them, not their business first. And you can transition from small talk to a business chat. Now, if you need help with that, let me know. Talk to me. I can give you information about how to go through that transition. That's not the purpose of this presentation. However, when you're talking about building an engagement with a new friend, refer to a potential problem they were having in a previous chat, if business was discussed in any way. And tell them that you may be able to help them with that. When you mentioned whatever the problem was, I thought about what I was doing that is working for me. Now, I don't guarantee it'll work for you, but it could be worth looking at. And it's a very interesting concept. I mean, I talk in concepts, right? I don't talk about money-making schemes or things like that. Just simple concepts. So when I say to people, listen, I thought about you and the problem you're having, and I thought about, listen, when I had that problem, this worked out for me, this particular approach. And I'm wondering, would you be interested in hearing what I did? Because it worked for me. And I'm not sure whether it worked for you, but who knows, right? What do you think? That's what you're doing, and you're encouraging them to come back to you, right? It's the nuancing of the message is critical, and it makes you a better communicator. That's what it's all about. Another one of the finer points about personal messages is to be strategic. Just like a good chess player, you need to be thinking a few moves ahead in your chat conversation. And to be quite frank, as in my situation, after maybe one day of chatting, I would prefer to talk to them on the phone, voice via Facebook, if not go by Skype, because it's much more effective for me to talk with people rather than to type with people. I am the worst typist, right? But there's people who are far more skilled than me, so if you don't feel comfortable on the phone and you can type things well, fine. All I'm saying to you is make sure you know where you're going in the conversation. You lead the conversation. You try and be strategic and think of the end game you want. Have a clear idea of where you want to take the conversation. If it's not today, then maybe over the next week or so. It doesn't matter. Just fashion your messages in such a way that it'll be only one conclusion, right? And one key tip I'll give you there. Every time someone sends a message to you, you match the message. If it's short, you send a short return. If it's long, then send a longer return. But most important of all, at the end of every message, ask a question. Why are we doing that? Because you want to continue to build the engagement, all right? That's what it's all about. Now, if people are only giving you one-word answers, okay, then the level of engagement is practically zero. So it's probably not worth the effort. And you can't win them all. It'll happen anyway. And some people won't even respond at all to your personal message. Hey, but it doesn't really matter. There's 1.3 billion of them. All right, doesn't matter, okay? Now, another thing about the finer points of personal messaging, establishing posture. Posture is really important, and it's more about your mental state. I mean, you need to be able to project confidence and leadership. And you can do this with just text-based messaging alone, right? And you can do it via your Facebook wall. You can exude posture on your Facebook wall without sounding arrogant, without looking big-headed or egotistical. That's why it's so important for you to have at least one post a day that's created about a business-oriented, particular or personal development type message. And make sure when you do it, it's not overly salesy either, right? Maybe it's a tip or an opinion or a point of view about a personal development type thing or a business-oriented type thing. And when you do that, it's like when you're talking to people with the personal message facility, they will probably check your wall. Make sure you're aware of that, okay? That's why your wall needs to convey posture, needs to convey confidence and authority, because that will help you very much when you're chatting with people. Your wall is your showpiece. If you're chatting with people and your wall has absolutely no engagement on it, they will think, who is this bloke, right? What's the point of talking to them? But if you've got plenty of engagement showing on your wall, they will think, wow, this person's got something really going for them. Maybe I should listen to them, all right? Another of the finer points about personal messaging, use the takeaway. This was taught to me by a really good marketer by the name of Kim Willis. Part of the posture building strategy is a technique called the takeaway. So if you are talking to someone, like I mentioned before as an example, refer to a problem that they were having in a previous chat, and that you said, look, I might be able to help you with that. When you mentioned, I'll give you an example. When you mentioned you have a problem with traffic, I thought about what I are doing and what was working for me. Maybe I have a concept or an idea for you that may solve the problem. And it may or may not work for you. I'm not absolutely sure, but I just thought I'd run it by you. Or you could say, well, this solution, I know this solution is not for everybody, and I'm not sure whether it'd be a good fit for you either, but I thought I'd run it by you anyway. By chatting in this format, right, we are actually saying, I don't need you, but you may need me. You simply pull back a little from them and let them know that you don't need them. This is why it's referred to as a takeaway. It's all about posture, okay? Posture and positioning, leadership within the actual chat conversation. I hope that makes sense, all right? Now, one of the biggest hang-ups people have are getting non-responders to reply. Well, I can tell you, you can't win them all, right? But here's some of the things I've used. G'day, which is an Aussie thing, right? Because I'm an Australian. For hello or good day, right? I've used hey, I've used smiley faces, I've used funny faces. I mean, truly, non-responses can happen to all of us for a wide variety of reasons. I mean, all of a sudden, your chat sequence stops. I mean, maybe they're busy. Or maybe they've not prioritized your messages, or maybe they didn't like you, okay? I mean, it doesn't matter. I told you before, there's 1.3 billion of them. It doesn't really matter. But whatever you do, never use long texts inquiring, okay? Never, ever do that. And if they do not respond, don't keep trying to make them respond apart from sending a little funny face or something. Don't do anything more than that. Otherwise, you look desperate, all right? But if you try the funny face thing, then this can work. I mean, it could make them laugh a bit. And they may realize that they were a bit tardy in not responding to you previously, and now they will. I mean, try them out. It's worth it, right? You've got nothing to lose. Now, here's something that a lot of people really don't like doing, but I'm suggesting to you these could be a potential source of great prospects for you. They are the spammers, right? The people that you friend or they friend you on Facebook, and within a nanosecond they're sending you links, all right? That sort of thing. The key issue about how to turn the tables on spammers, it's all about your Facebook profile. It's all about your authority boosting content, and it's all about having some copy and paste formats in place. I'll talk about that in a minute with you. You have to make sure, for a starter, that you have a description of your profile, right, that resonates with people. That's most important. Look at your profile and get it right. The spammers will check this if you promote them even a little bit, and you want them to be mildly intimidated. You really do, because they're spamming you, right? And you want a wall that is live with engagement. And that sends a signal to the spammer that you're not to be messed with, that you're a person to be respected. That's why your Facebook wall and your Facebook profile is so important. And for my coaching students, I provide copy and paste formats that are typical responses that they can use in a lot of different situations, particularly when you're dealing with spammers. So, I mean, start writing down some typical answers to the spammers. And then when they hit you with a real zinger, you can look for the right response from the copy and paste options that I provided you, okay? I mean, if you're one of my students, right? So copy and paste it into the chat box. And guess what? See what happens. You got nothing to lose, right? Another aspect about turning the tables on spammers is clarity in terms of the strategy and your attitude. This is vitally important. I mean, you must believe in what you're doing. You've got to believe that warm audience building strategy is far superior to pitching and spamming approaches. Okay? You have to believe that you will prevail with this spammer, even if you don't. You just have to believe that you will. I mean, you won't win them all because some of them are absolutely impossible and incorrigible. Okay? And you can quickly abandon them after a couple of minutes. I mean, if you can't find a chink in their armor, let them go, all right? But there are many who can be won over to the cause of a warm audience building approach. And I can tell you the ones that you can win over can become some of the best prospects for your business. They really can. So I'm saying to you, be unshakable in your belief. If you're not, then spammers can and will unsettle you. Your attitude's got to be bulletproof. If you're going to take on spammers, I mean, some people say, look, oh, Peter, I don't want, I can't be bothered with spammers, right? Sure, you can delete or unfriend them or ignore them or get angry with them or whatever you want to do, right? But there's no point in doing the latter, or getting angry with them, as it doesn't work. This method is the only method that will work, but even then it won't work in all instances because, as I said, some of the spammers are just impossible. I mean, spamming's in their DNA, right? They're fast buck merchants who never seem to make a fast buck, but they keep trying and keep pestering everybody. So let's get down to tic-tacs. How to turn the tables on spammers. I'm going to show you 4 responses, 4 questions that you can ask at any time. You can just drop them into the conversation at the right point and see what happens. You might find that some of the people who are pitching you now, you can turn the tables on them. Then they start leaning forward to you. They start listening to you. They start, hey, what do you mean by that? Tell me more, etc. You are using attraction marketing techniques now, okay? You are attracting them while previously they were pushing you. Push, 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 push. But now with some simple little questions, you can get them leaning forward, wanting to know more because they sense that you've got something that they don't have. And you do. You've got something they don't have, right? So here is an example. The first one, great response. Interesting. I see you're using push marketing. Have you ever tried pull marketing? Here's another one. Pull marketing is about getting people to chase you. Have you ever tried that method? Well, what about this one? What have you done to build your personal brand? Now, the reason I ask about the personal branding is because I've had a look at your wall. I'll tell them this in the chat, right? And it seems like a great pitch fest. Now, why? You may be okay for the short term, okay? You may make some money with that even in the short term. But can I give you some helpful advice? You're not going to be building a personal brand that creates a sustainable income. Can you see that? That's why I'm suggesting you look at attraction marketing, not push marketing. Am I making some sense to you now? Okay. Here's another response you can say. Are you familiar with attraction marketing? I mean, there's 4, okay? This is how you can put people on a defensive and unsettle them. There's a lot more you can use. And if you join my coaching program, I'll show them to you. Just remember this, that most of these spammers, right, are also using copy and paste messages, right? That's why you get these 10 paragraph messages from them. They just copy and paste and bang into Messenger. Thankfully, there's not so many of them, okay? Thankfully. But they're there, and all you have to do is don't bother reading the messages. Never click the links, for goodness sake. Just answer with one of those 4 examples that I just gave you, right? And you can use it any time during their pitch sequence to you. Guess what happens? Bang, when you do it, that's like lobbing a hand grenade right at their feet. Now, they might respond by saying, hey, what's that? What do you mean? What's going on? I don't understand. Okay. Whatever it is, you unsettle people when you start using techniques like I'm suggesting, all right? They're all designed to unsettle and disturb spammers. And what we're hoping is that they will start to lean forward and show some interest, even a little bit, and say, tell me more, okay? Now, I've had many times people who were pitching me actually come back and say, can you help me a bit more? I don't understand. I need to know what you're saying. Now, here's another one you could use. Although you're using these push techniques now, and you say they're working, right, and I'll accept that as being the truth, all right, my experience is that they don't work very long. They don't work because you muddy the nest. You simply will pollute your target audience. And after a period of time, no one wants to talk to you. And they won't work because ultimately you get more and more abuse from people and you'll get sick of it. Now, has that started to happen to you already? Because if it hasn't, it will. And that's why I'm suggesting to you, you should change the way you go about your marketing. Okay? Now, this is the type of thinking you need to have in order to counteract spammers. I hope I'm helping you and making some sense. To finish up the presentation, I'm going to give you a 3-step fast start formula, right? 3 steps are pretty simple. Get active on people's walls, have 3 directed chats a day at least, and follow up until it hurts. Now notice I said walls, plural, a minimum of 3 posts a day, preferably 5 if you can do it. Get active also on at least 3 other people's walls, if not more, and not just like, but actually comment on their wall. comment on their posts. Go to the Messenger chat box, find 3, 4 or 5 people who are preferably online right then that you want to engage with, and have 3, 4 or 5 directed chats a day with them. Chats that are going to lead you to a business conversation sooner or later. Don't ever ignore the importance of this, because life gets in the way of all of us, right? And people can easily forget. It could simply be a few days later you send a personal message saying, did you look at the video link I sent you? Or what did you think of the concept I shared with you? Now, if they don't respond, follow up with a smiley face or a silly graphic or something. Just get them to smile and laugh, right? So these are the 3 steps of my fast start formula. Do it in a commercially directed way, and above all, be helpful. Okay? So there you go. That's why Facebook messaging is magic. I hope you can now appreciate why Facebook Messenger is by far the best free marketing tool on the planet. Thank you very much for watching. Contact me if you need more help with this amazing marketing strategy, okay? All the best. Bye for now.